நீ கேட்ட 50C கையெழுத்து போடு.
இது ஆதிசேஷன் டொனேட் பண்ண சீட்டு. நீ காசு கொடுத்தால் நான் கையெழுத்து போட மாட்டேன்.
ஏன்?
ப்ரொஃபஷனல் எத்திக்ஸ்.
என்னங்க?
தொழில் தர்மம்.
Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn the mnemonics for chapter 18 professional ethics. In that we have totally two schedules, first schedule and second schedule. So first schedule has 4 parts. Part 1 contains 12 clauses, part 2 contains 2 clauses, part 3 contains 3 clauses and part 4 contains 2 clauses. Many students are comfortable with part 1 as it is very easy. So part 1 contains 12 clauses. So there is no specific mnemonic, but it is very easy to remember. So first clause is name. First clause is name. So how to remember it? Whatever form we fill, first we generally write our name. So first clause is name. Allows any person to practice in his name as a chartered accountant unless such person is also a chartered accountant in practice and is in partnership with or employed by himself. Second clause is sharing. What sharing? Income sharing. So what is that? Pays or allows or agrees to pay or allow directly or indirectly any share, commission or brokerage in fees or profits. So this is second clause. In third clause we receive. In second clause we share. In third clause we receive. So accepts or agrees to accept any part of profit of the professional work of a person who is not a member of institute. So 3 clauses completed. First one is name, second one is sharing, after that we receive in third clause. So fourth clause is enters into partnership in or outside India with any person other than the following. They have given the list. So how to remember? So in partnership we have 4 letters in ship. So fourth clause is, so how to remember fourth clause? So ship has 4 letters, so it is fourth clause. Now come to fifth clause. It is secures. So this is not that important clause. I have never seen a question on this. So secures. In secures it is, in cures it has 5 letters. So secures any professional business through the services of a person who is an employee or not his partner or by means which are not open to CA. So 5 clauses completed. Now 6th and 7th are very very important. No one will forget this. So it is very basic only. No need to go deep inside it. So 6th clause is solicits. Solicits clients or professional work either directly or indirectly by circular, advertisement or personal communication CAP or by any other means. So 6th clause everyone will remember it. And 7th clause is advertises. Advertises is professional attainments or services. So 6th and 7th clause are very important. Institute frequently ask questions on 6th and 7th clause and they combine also. So come to 8th clause. What is 8th clause? Accepts a position as auditor previously held by another chartered accountant without first communicating with him in writing. So how to remember 8th clause? Provisions for internal auditor is contained in section 138. So in 138 8 is there. So 8th clause is 8. So in 8th clause it is mentioned as auditor. So you can link with it. So same way 9th clause. 9th clause accepts an appointment as auditor of a company without ascertaining provisions of section 139 and 140. So section 139 is there. In that last letter is 9. So you can link it with 9th clause. So now come to 10th clause. Charges fees based on percentage. So general percentage is 10% basic. So you can link with that. Write just 10%. So 10 clauses are completed. Remaining 2 are there. So 11th clause is engages in any business or occupation. Occupation, what you do, you add 1 letter, yes, occupations. So Occupations contains 11 letters. So clause 11 is easy to remember. Next come to clause 12. So what is clause 12? Allows a person not being a member of institute in practice or a member not being his partner to sign on his behalf or on behalf of his firm. So 1 is half of 2. Clause 12, 1 to 1 is half of 2. So you can link it with that. So it is easy to remember. So these 12 clauses, we don't have any mnemonic, but it is very easy to link and we can easily recollect the clauses without any hassle. So 12 clauses is completed. So part 1 is completed. Now come to part 2. Professional misconduct, CA in service. So what is clause 1? Clause 1 and clause 2 is similar to clause 2 and clause 3 of part 1. So sharing and receiving. So easy to remember part 2. Now come to part 3. What is part 3? Professional misconduct, CA generally. So how to remember? Fellow not supply knowing it to be false. So clause 1 is fellow. What is that? Not being a fellow of the institute but acts as a fellow of the institute. Now come to clause 2. Not supply. Does not supply the information called for or does not comply with the requirements asked for by the institute. So come to clause 3. Knowing it to be false. While inviting professional work from another CA or while responding to tenders or inquiries or while advertising through a write-up or anything as provided for in clauses 6 and 7 of part 1 of this schedule gives information knowing it to be false. So use this mnemonic: fellow not supply knowing it to be false. So part 3 is completed. Now come to part 4. Part 4 has 2 clauses: professional misconduct, other misconduct, CA generally. So how to remember this? CD. C for civil or criminal court. So what is clause 1? He is held guilty of any civil or criminal court for an offence which is punishable with imprisonment for a term not exceeding 6 months. Next come to clause 2. What is clause 2? Disrepute. So clause 2 is, in the opinion of the council, brings disrepute to the profession or the institute as a result of his action whether or not related to his professional work. So CD. So part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 of first schedule is completed. So now come to second schedule. In second schedule we have 3 parts. In part 1 we have 10 clauses, in part 2 we have 4 clauses, in part 3 we have 1 clause. So first come to part 1. Part 1, professional misconduct, CA in practice. So how to remember this? DCP, SMM, DSMM. So what is DCP? Clause 1, disclose. Discloses the information acquired in the course of his professional engagement. So next come to clause 2, certifies. Certifies or submits in his name or in the name of his firm. Now come to clause 3, permits. Permits his name or the name of his firm to be used in connection with an estimate of earnings contingent upon future transactions. So DCP is completed. Next come to SMM. So S for substantial interest. Clause 4, expresses his opinion on financial statements of any business or enterprise in which he, his firm or a partner in his firm has a substantial interest. Next come to fifth clause. M for material fact. Fails to disclose a material fact known to him which is not disclosed in financial statement. Next come to sixth clause. Material misstatement. Fails to report a material misstatement known to him to appear in financial statement. So SMM completed. Next D. D for due diligence. Does not exceed due diligence or grossly or is grossly negligent in the conduct of his professional duties. So 7 clauses is completed. Next come to remaining 3. How to remember SMM. So 8th clause is sufficient information. Fails to obtain sufficient information which is necessary for expression of an opinion. Next 9th clause is material departure. Fails to invite attention to any material departure. Next 10th clause is money. Fails to keep monies of his client. So part 1 is completed. DCP, SMM, D, SMM. So next come to part 2. How to remember part 2? PDF defalcates. So this part 2 is applicable for professional misconduct CA generally. So how to remember PDF defalcates? So P for provisions. Clause 1 contravenes any of the provisions of this act or the regulations made thereunder or any guidelines issued by the council. Next come to clause 2. D for disclosures. Being an employee of any company, firm or person discloses confidential information acquired in the course of his employment. In part 1, disclosures is related to practice, person in practice, but here disclosures is CA in employment. So next come to third clause. It is false. So includes any information, statement, written or form to be submitted to the institute, council or any of its committees knowing them to be false. So you circle the false. Next fourth clause is defalcates. Clause 4 defalcates or embezzles money received in his professional capacity. Next, so part 2 is completed. Now come to part 3. Other misconduct CA generally. So in part 4 of first schedule we have remembered it as CD. Now here only C. What is C? Civil or criminal code. A member of institute, whether in practice or not, shall be deemed to be guilty of other misconduct if he is guilty by any civil or criminal court for an offence which is punishable for a term exceeding 6 months. In part 1 it is not exceeding 6 months. Here it is exceeding 6 months. So friends, this is easy way to remember all clauses. So friends, you remember all these mnemonics and frequently revise it, and whenever you have free time, please try to pull out the content from your brain by closing your eyes. Hope you like this video. Please do subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
பாஸ் கத்தி குத்தெல்லாம் வாங்கியிருக்கேன். டேமேஜ் ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தி. அந்த பணத்தையாவது வச்சுட்டு வாங்க.
அது முதலியே கையெழுத்து போட்டிருந்தேன்னா
அப்ப கொடுத்திருப்பீங்களா?
ராத்திரி வந்து பாதியை புடுங்கிட்டு போயிருப்போம்.
மீதி
இன்கம் டாக்ஸ்ல போட்டு கொடுத்திருப்போம்.
என்னையா இது?
ப்ரொஃபஷனல் எத்திக்ஸ்,
தொழில் தர்மம்.